Hi, my name is Taylor Liu, and I'm here to do the homework 6 problem 2. And you can see my share screen here, and we can do it one by one. For the problem A, we need to find the B so that above defined function is a valid joint PDF. Uh, for this valid joint density function, we should know that this range of the x and y is a square that with the radius less than the 1. Excuse me. Sorry. In this case, we should not use the normal way to find the range of the xy to do the integral. And instead, we need to find it by the polar coordinate way, which has the for the theta, which is the angle of the line between the coordinates, we'll have the 2 pi to 0. And since it's a complete circle, and for the radius, we know that the radius is less than 1, but it's of course larger than the 0. And for inside, since usually fxy is equals to b, and to translate it to the polar coordinate, we will multiply it by the radius and do the integral. And by calculating this using integral calculator, we'll have this one, and we have to make this one equals to 1 to make it a valid joint density function, which means the b y equals to 1 over pi, and that's the result of b. Okay, as we get the b, we will get it back to the xy coordinate, which to calculate the expected value of the following several items. And for the first one, based on the clues, we will do the expected value of x, which is the like this one, x, y. Yes, and to calculate out, we will write it as this way. And by the integral calculator, we will get this one equals to 0. I think it's not that hard to understand for this one. And because of the expected value of x equals to, sorry, write it wrong, of x equals to 0, the anything related to the x will equals to 0 too. So the following several expected value will also equal to 0. And since we find the expected value of x equals to 0, as a complete circle, if we do it rotate it to the y coordinate, we will also find that for this one, the integral formula will be totally the same. So we will find it like this is same result of the expected value. So expected value for y and anything relative to the y will also equals to 0. It's not that hard, right? I think the most important thing is uh, to understand the symmetric rule of the circle and to make it clear. And when you do some calculations, you realize that it will save many steps for you. And the last step, we need to calculate the xy value of the xy. Okay, for the xy, also based on clues, we will have this one. And based on the clue, we'll see if we separate it using the y and x. Uh, if we remove out the x, we will also get the 2 of the we will do the integral of the y, turns out to like this one, right? For this one, we will have an old function, which will lead to this one also equals to 0. So we have already found out all the xy value of this problem. And for the last step, by all of the steps we did before, we can just directly find the relationship between the xy value of the xy and the multiply of the xy value of x and the xy value of y. Easily we can see that s0 multiplied by 0 equals to 0. So they are equal. So which means we can conclude that x, y are uncorrelated. Okay, that's it for the problem 2. And thank you.